Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and we are here for the new World Online Racing League racing season. Once again racing in the second highest split on PC. It's PC tier 2, PC tier 1 is esports only, basically invite only. So this is the highest community drivers or highest level community drivers can race at. And we're in the Red Bull for the season. We are a full-time driver at Australia for round 1, and across the line we go provisional P1, but not a special lap. You could see by the time we get to our second lap we are down in 8th. We set 2 purple sectors, which is not true, it's a game bug. We get a bit or have a bit of a mess through the chicane, but then we get slightly not blocked but slight visual impeding there by the kick. Was reported, there was no consequences of that. Through the last corner you can see we get a bit of a snap here, have to open the steering. We lose a bit of time there, which is not ideal, but we still have one more chance at this, up to P5 at the moment. And if you're new to WOR or very competitive league racing on PC, the gaps are super tight. Every 100th can gain new positions, and we mess up the first attempt at our last run there, invalidating at turn 1, and we're currently in 9th. Now I know I've got a lot more time in it. My personal best lap time in practice is nearly 3 times faster than my current best lap time in the session. So let's see how we do. Flying through turn 1, pretty safe. You really need to attack turn 1, but at the same time there's a lot of risk that you invalidate your lap, which I wasn't willing to take. So yeah, through sector 1 was quite bad, but then turn 3 and 4 were very nice actually. So we claw all that time back we lost in the first chicane to set a 25.94 sector 1. We've got an Alpine in the wall there, luckily not somewhere on the racing line, so we didn't lose any time from that. Currently down in 10th place, heading into the last sector. We're half a tenth up, but I know that most of my time is in this last sector. A 0.82 split is pretty fast, has potential with a good last sector, but once again it's just the Williams slightly confusing or distracting me, because I'm turning into the corner and he's still on the apex. I put that in my reasoning and there was no consequence, but I feel like if I am turning into a corner and there's a car on the apex, that's at least a warning for slightly visually impeding a driver. But nonetheless, we set a 24.56, and you could see we set a 560 and P4 is a 533, so we're 0.027 or 2.7 hundredths off of 4th place, and we're down in 9th, which just shows how close the quali gaps are. But let's head into the race. Can we gain positions? Of course the dirty air has been increased, but we get underway, and in comparison to Cameron Dowd's next to us, we get a really good start. But unfortunately I don't really want to commit around the outside, because I am pretty confident that if I go around the outside of him, there's a good chance I'm landing, or I'll be in the gravel on the exit of the corner. I wasn't really entitled to space, so I didn't really want to force a move. You can see some lunges up the inside, but we are able to hold on to our position, and we're up in P9. Yeah, just trying to keep it safe. The issue is, I mean, dirty air has been increased, that's one thing, but the other thing is the tire wear. And the way it seems to be on most tracks in 50% races, so half of the full race distance, you can get a one-stop to work. Or well, a one-stop is definitely faster, but you really have to save tires. If you push too much and slide around too much, it's difficult to do a one-stop. But as we go back to the action once again, on the outside of Cameron, I just don't want to commit. I don't want to lose out. I can't win the race on lap 1. So I just decide to sit back and relax. You can see Ryan goes for a move on Daniel Gottschalk behind us. But yeah, that is the end of lap 1. Now it's just the goal is just to settle into a rhythm, get comfortable, don't get any track limit warnings, and yeah, see if any overtakes happen in this first stint. Often the first stint is the boring one, and then the second stint is where things kick off. But you can see, here we go then, lap number 7 now. Lewis Blower makes a bit of a mistake through the fast right-hander, so I'm going to use my battery, and then he actually lags back into us. Pretty weird there, but then he backs off, which gives us a position. So he made a mistake, and then I think I had some game issue. He runs wide on the exit of the fast chicane there for good measure, and that is us up to 8th, and we are on to lap 9 now. We've got several cars pitting, and I was thinking about going lap 10 or 11, but lap 9 is really early because they have 20 laps to do on the hard compound, so they will be very close to getting punctures. And then in theory, having seen that, I wanted to pit on lap 10, but my teammate Luca Rapassa pit on that lap, so that meant I had to go one further lap. We're now up into 2nd place, but we're going to be undercut quite badly. Reason for that being is that the fresh tire at Australia is pretty much instantly up to temperature, and a worn medium, I think I'm on 75% already roughly on the rear. You can see 77 at the end of the lap. It's about 3 seconds a lap slower than a fresh hard compound. So heading into the pit lane, we're going to make sure we don't speed. Not quite sure what I did with my gears there. Down into neutral definitely didn't help. We do get an optimal turn in and a decent pit stop as well. More cars pitting behind us. Now we do lose out on the undercut, but then we do have the better tires at the end. Maybe others in front get punctures and we don't. We're about to find out, but you can see everyone flies past us here. And on the rejoin, the Aston just about leaves enough space, actually goes off track as well. Joe Murphy, of course, he was in front of us when he pit on lap 9. So we actually didn't lose out too much to him. You can see nearly hit him there, actually very, very close. But then nonetheless, I had to get on with it straight away. So we're going to go for a lunge around the outside at turn 3 to get the inside for turn 4. Not sure, don't think I pushed him off. He kind of drove off himself and he let us go there. Wheel to wheel, pretty clean battle. And yeah, that was that. Then 4 laps later, Ryan dropped out of DRS. Remember, he pit on lap number 9. And he was, I think, also the only guy to get a puncture towards the end of the race. Which is unlucky for him. But basically everyone had at least 85%. I know some guys had 95% at the end of the race. I'm just telling you that as I won't show you that now. And then we just stayed in PA until lap 20, where Daniel Gottschalk's wheel disconnected. So he couldn't upshift, so he was stuck in 3rd or 4th gear there. And he had 6 seconds of time penalties, which was pretty much a free position for us. And now we're in 7th. We've got Lewis Blower again in front of us. He is on an older tire, so I was hoping I could utilize my tire advantage to hopefully finish in 6th place. You can see the top 4 are gone, and Cameron unfortunately just got out in front of the train while I got out at the back of the train after our pit stop. So I thought P6 was the maximum, so I was trying to, or debating whether to be in front or leading heading onto the last lap, or being the following car heading onto the last lap. And then by the time I recharged my battery, we were on lap 24. I decided to stay in front because I thought the leading was better. If I had the battery, I knew I should be able to hold on. So that's exactly what we did. You can see lap 28, we've got 80% on the rear, and the gap behind is 9/10. I know maybe he wants to stay the car behind, but he'd never be at 9.5 tenths. You can see the yellow flag behind, that is for Ryan getting a puncture. And then on the last lap, we still have 70% battery, but we're actually able to drop him out of our DRS range because I think he has over 90% tire wear since he pit before us. So the overcut actually did pay off. And then I thought we were going to finish 6th. There was actually an incident in front. Exit of the last corner between Gabor Xontos, Diego Sorza and Leo Lund, and we're actually going to get another position and finish P5 for the first WR PC Tier 2 race on this game. After a pretty poor qualifying, very happy to gain those 4 places. So that was a pretty good debut. We've got Spain up next, which is going to be very, very difficult to score good points. It's all going to come down to qualifying. So until then, from me, it's take care and goodbye.